And we now turn to an ABC 15 follow-up to our 48 Hours on the Border series. With less than 2 months until President-elect Donald Trump takes the oath of office again, the nation preparing for a number of potential immigration reforms. So what will that mean for our border towns? Here's ABC 15's Nick Saletti.
I'm back in Yuma, here along the border, a city where I lived and worked for 2 years, following up with the city's mayor here who supported former President Donald Trump in the election. Well, now that he's President-elect Donald Trump and has some major plans for immigration overhaul, including mass deportations, we wanted to follow up with the mayor to see how the city is bracing for all of that. Would you say that the border situation here in Yuma is better today than it was 1 year ago?
It is definitely better today than it was a year ago, and the year before that when it hit 310,000, we're just a third of that. But you compare that to what we normally see, there's still a great disparity between what would be normally good and what people are trying to say, well, this is better and this is good compared to where we were. Yeah, but you're not comparing apples to oranges.
And that's how Yuma Mayor Doug Nicholls sees the immigration situation currently in his community. In March, as part of ABC 15's 48 Hours on the Border series, our team canvassed parts of the Yuma sector, which stretches for 126 miles of southern border.
It needs to be done. It needs to be done right now.
We first met Mayor Nicholls in 2023, right as Title 42 restrictions were ending. At the time, he called President Joe Biden's response to the border, quote, woefully inadequate. Mayor Nicholls was urging the administration to declare a national emergency, activate the National Guard, and deploy FEMA. None of it happened. But what did happen this past summer were tougher asylum rules. Since then, border crossings have dropped to their lowest levels in 4 years, according to the latest CBP data. But Mayor Nicholls says it wasn't soon enough and says while Yuma's numbers are down, they're still having to help process migrants from other, busier regions. The president-elect has said on day one, these mass deportations would begin. Is that something you would support?
Well, we got to have a change in policy. We've got to have something. And so what that looks like, it's tough to say you support one thing without knowing what all the details look like.
If needed, would you allow the Yuma Police Department to participate and help in these mass deportations?
If there's like site security, that kind of thing that we do already with Border Patrol and we do already with Customs, we're definitely here to support that. But this is a federal action that needs to be done by federal agents.
And when it comes to the possibility of deporting minors or entire families, the mayor admits those are more difficult cases with a number of factors to consider.
I don't know that there's a single brush you can paint that with. As long as it's due process and people are going through that deportation process, I think that's the thing we need to focus on.
Now, Mayor Nicholls tells me that so much of this is sort of a wait-and-see process to see what actually happens when President-elect Donald Trump takes office on January 20th. But he's hoping to have a good working relationship, not just with him, but also with Democrats as well, like Governor Katie Hobbs, to make sure that what's happening in Yuma is really what's best for this city. Reporting here in downtown Yuma, Nick Saletti, ABC 15, Arizona.
Nick.